You know Fonzo?
Who?
Yeah, Fonzo. He's a local rapper, but he sells it. He's like big into like the Funko Pop, man. Like he goes to the market, pop ups and shit.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Baby, I don't mind. We're gonna put this mic closer to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I wonder how this is gonna look. Oh man, you ready?
We'll find out. Yeah, man.
Are you ready? I'm gonna grab. No, we're good. All right. Oh, you ready? I know I said
yes.
that.
Yes.
What is? Oh, right here. When you're looking at me, all right. Hopefully, man. I know it shouldn't be hopefully, but it needs to be automatic. That shit is not blurry. All right, cool. And I'm super great. All right. Harmon Warhol bringing another episode of the Harmon Warhol Show, and today I have a special guest, a guy actually that I have not actually ever had a real conversation with prior to this engagement. A guy who I've more than certainly ran into and actually bought weed from. He
That's
looks
true.
like someone you would buy weed from. He is a DJ and a rapper, also probably a host, I would assume.
I do some hosting.
J-Scribe.
What up? So yeah. No, this is a good way for us to have like our first legit meeting, you know?
Yeah. I guess.
Why not? You know, like, you know, if we've been like orbiting for a while, and like, you know, I see what you're doing with the black bandana, you know, getting your promotion
thank you,
on,
bro. I
and
appreciate that.
You know, yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Ready for the weekend.
What does feeling well entail? Ooh, you see that?
Yeah.
Bars, nigga.
Seriously, can't stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's like I can tend to be an anxious person, so when I can kind of put all that to rest and just really be present in the moment and just be enjoying what's happening right now, that's feeling well. I figured this out recently, at least this for myself. It's like worry's a bitch, and it's like you can either worry, if you're gonna activate worry, you're either gonna worry about everything or you can worry about nothing. I figured out for me there's no middle ground. So it's like if I'm gonna worry about one thing, that's gonna bring up 500 other things. So it's like I'm gonna shut worry down, and that's been working pretty good, you know, just like a light switch. It's like, nope, not
That's
having that right now.
I do that with my anxiety too, because I could just, people are just like, what? But the thing is, what helps me is just like my sense of humor gets me through it so much. That's what I'm just like laughing at, like all this like fucked up shit in my mind mostly.
Right.
And that's why I'm comfortable with saying things and not saying, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? So like, I feel you on that. What's it like being like a high anxiety person when you're dealing with people all the time? I don't know about your main job, but at least just running these shows, DJing. A DJ though is kind of more. I've seen you could be a DJ and be an introvert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it kind of depends. I mean,
unless you're that DJ who's like in the mic, hey,
right.
You can't. But that's a host. You can have a host in front of the DJ. You don't even have to do that. So like, you know what I'm saying?
I tend to do it all, especially lately. These shows I've been running, I've been like sound guy, DJ. So yeah, I feel like it does depend on the situation. You know what I mean? Like the context, how anxiety is going to play in. Like if I am, like when I worked at the dispensary, some days it'd just be like a long ass line of people, relentless. And in that, you know, any retail job really.
It's like it's never going to end.
Well, yeah. And it's like, you know, everyone thinks, oh, it's hella cool because it's weed. But it's just like any retail job. People got hella questions. No offense, but people got stupid ass questions that I've heard like so many times.
It's weed.
Right.
This weed $20. This weed $40.
Right. And they make us put all the info on the box. You can, you know.
Hey, why you gonna ask a question? You gonna be here again?
Right.
Try the other one later.
Right.
Like, who cares?
No, or like the cats who's like, all right, I want your most super fire shit. Show me the top shelf. Show them the top shelf. It's like, oh, I don't want to pay that. It's like, well then, let's start with your budget.
Yeah,
you know, I'll work with you. But yeah, so, but you know, I'm able to turn that, that just like you just get used to kind of tuning that out. I think for me the anxiety gets really problematic if I just don't have enough time to shut it off. If I get time to decompress, I'm good. Like go home, get high as fuck, play some video games. Then it's like I'm cool.
You play video games?
Yeah.
What video games do you play?
Man, been kind of like I'm still on the PS4, so I'm trying to finish up some games from that generation. I've been playing the Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
I used to play hella Destiny.
I used
like
to play
a big Destiny.
I played the first Destiny when it first came out.
Yeah, I was a beta,
big beta.
Whenever the first chance I had, I was on the demo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was big on that. I got super into it, but then when I realized you need to actually have like a good team and like to go through to beat actually get through all
the raids and stuff.
Yeah. Like that's when I stopped because then like the only homies I knew were all on different like time schedules. Like I have homies from Indiana, I have people in Cali, but that's when I was living in Florida. So it was always like an hour back from Indiana, then these people, and then like it was just weird like time. I'm like, fuck.
No, I feel you. I know a lot of people, they would like...
You got to connect, bro, to get through these things. You can't do it by yourself.
Right. There would be forums.
Yeah.
Like... See, there comes the introversion again. It's like, video games is my time to either be alone or kick it with the homies. I'm not trying to, like, meet strangers and, like, it's like,
it's not even that. You taking the time to go through these strangers to get the right strangers.
Right, yeah, that too.
There's so much time.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So, I had a couple homies that were on it hard for a while, and that was fun. We would just do, like, we weren't able to do everything, but like, Crucible, man, get in there, like, Iron Banner, dude, be like, we would get down, because...
What's your favorite old school game?
Old school. You
like a Mario? Or you were like a Mortal Kombat?
I did love some Mortal Kombat, for sure. I'd say like the old school, I was really
get over here.
Hell yeah.
I just had to. I did.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna get over here. Fuck.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I heard it was good. And I gotta get around to that. Yeah. No, I was like, I was not, Zelda was cool. I wasn't a big Mario guy. I love Castlevania, like on the original Nintendo, like the platformer OG Castlevania was dope.
I don't know what that is.
Really? Okay.
What is it?
It was like, they made a bunch of them. It's like a vampire hunter, basically. You're like
that's
this
what
little
it
whip.
Sounded like.
Yeah, you're basically just running through castles, killing shit, and like Dracula's the main villain. They got anime. They built a lot off of that. And then Contra, the shooter. It was like a little side scroller shooter.
So you deep. I have no idea.
No, that's like all on like original Nintendo. That's like
Nintendo. Okay, for sure, bro.
But like Tekken, like when the PlayStation first came out,
Tekken,
3D, 3D fighting,
bro,
changed everything.
People sleep on Tekken so much. Like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, bro, if you ain't putting Tekken up there where it's at, I get it if it's not number one for you. Right. I'm just saying, bro, if you think about I get it now, yes, because what Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter they did, especially with like Soul Calibur and shit like that. That 3D fighting, cool, you made it fun. But Tekken was the one who were like when you could switch, like when it wasn't just going side to side, and you could fucking do a.
You could play the map.
I was like, we're actually using the ring.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I'm like, nigga, Tekken was doing that shit first, bro.
For real, and and you could be hella good at Street Fighter just by memorizing moves. Which, hey, no disrespect, but with Tekken, you could be intuitive. There was room to like you could mess people up without knowing all the combos. Exactly, like.
I'm so glad I have a podcast so we can speak this out.
People should be knowing, man. What up, Tekken? Like,
bro, every time when people bring this shit up on, I guess because they're not so indulgent or they just don't even think about it, I'm like, bro, when I was a kid, I was like, wait, you could play the whole circle? Like,
I can duck you, I can like get you, I can bait you where I want you. Like, Soul Calibur was cool like that too, because then you had the melee.
Exactly.
I mean... Yeah, you're right. There are different schools of thought. I mean, look, Street Fighter heads, they're like super technical. Like I got a homie, he'll school he has his own custom-made controller, and it's just like I see him, he just knows what to do, and I'll never catch up to that. But, but these 3D games, it's like all right.
Holds the controller like this is.
Oh man, I mean, some people, I get it. I mean, or like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh my,
that was a fun
favorite.
Yeah, that was a fun ass game.
2. It's the second.
Yeah, but also that's kind of the same thing. It's like it's a lot of like. Gotta know the moves and the combos to like really, hold your own.
But then like same thing with like a lot of those games. What I ended up realizing when I got good, I realized why I was good is because I was spending at least 4 hours straight on it, like consistently throughout the days. And like when I realized that, I was like, ugh, and I do music and stuff. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just like Oh man, that's why I don't have the system in here now. Like even though
just to keep you focused.
I got rid of it right during quarantine.
Oh no!
I thought I was gonna come up on some money and buy a new one real quick, but cause I was like, oh, I'm gonna trade it in anyway. I need the money right now too, cause I fucked up on some finances when COVID get laid off, all this shit, whatever. But I was gonna buy a new one anyway. The PS5's coming out, and then now every time I have the money to buy it right now, but I'm like,
I can't get it.
I want to like, oh yeah, is it that hard? I haven't even.
That's what I've heard, man. It's like
I would think people would get it now, but at the same time, I'm like thinking about it sometimes. Like I could buy a mixer though, or I could buy, or maybe a new beat or a song or studio time.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's the only thing where I'm like, damn. But if I know if once I get that PS5, especially after you put the money into it, I'm like, bro, there's at least a year of going ham on this. Bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
you know, it's
ham.
like.
But I want a PS5 so bad.
Yeah,
like, I want to start getting back on video games so bad, bro.
Yeah, well, like circling back to how we started on that, you know, like for me, that's a big form of like relief, you know, because it's just like, because I have a really active mind. Like TV shuts it down too much. Video games is like I'm not thinking about the stuff that's making me anxious, but I'm still thinking. I'm solving problems. I'm engaging with the world, you know, and it's like
you can't just veg out.
Yeah, so the video games is like that fine line. Like I'm still active, but I'm not thinking about whatever else. You know, I'm like fully engaged, and like I'm sure there's been some studies into that. You know, like how that could be helpful, or you know, like using VR for PTSD and stuff now. So I think video games is one of the greatest like medium ever. You know, whether you're hardcore into them or not, you can just tell a story a certain way with a video game.
Oh my god, that's half of those those story modes people don't say. Like the Mortal Kombat story mode, bro, is fire. Bro.
No, seriously, like Soul Calibur, when the one that had Darth Vader in it, and The Apprentice. I played.
It's a movie, bro.
Yeah,
it's a movie. People like even like the Batman games. I'm like, ooh, you get to like
some of my favorite.
You get to live a comic book for a second.
Real. Did you play the Arkham Knight, the most recent one? It was
I don't know about the new one. I don't think so. So honestly, what I found out about in college, fucking my homie, he just said like, you know, they just play it on YouTube. So I don't even, since I play that,
I heard that. You just
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing on YouTube. I'm like, cool. I didn't have to buy that. Because I literally, for those games like that game, I'll literally buy that game just to see the story mode. I don't even really care about to play. Because I'm like, it's not like I can go fight someone. Like, you know what I mean? After you beat the game, it's over. It's kind of just reliving the moment. And like, I'm like, I mean, we'll see. I'll just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I had a friend who did that too. I was like playing it when it came out. He's like, oh, I'm watching it. I was like, well, don't tell me anything, you know, because he'd already like seen more. But I love those games, man, too. Just like immersing yourself in like I'm a big Batman fan. Like I'm wearing a Batman shirt right now, you know. So it's like for me that was cool. Like I played the Spider-Man game. It was cool. I was never like a huge Spider-Man fan. Like he's all right. I mean, no one's gonna hate on that. I don't know, but it's like
I get it. I mean, he's not my favorite, but he's the only thing. The reason why I like Spider-Man is because his storyline interacts with so many people.
Exactly, he's a pivotal character in a lot of. So
that's why I like him. I'm like, yo, if you want to work, you're gonna see some cool shit.
Spider-Man, exactly. If he shows up,
at the same time, I'm like his storyline, who he is. I'm like, you're a kid. You fucking be. I'm like, nigga, like, you know, Batman be fucking bitching.
Yeah, for real. And he's like more compelling. It's like, all right.
I don't know about compelling, but he be fucking bitches.
Yeah.
Tony Stark be fucking bitches. What's good?
Well,
nigga?
Peter Parker just gotta, you know, he's just gotta learn the game.
Peter Parker. Fucking, I got bitches, but I don't be fucking them. But,
right, all that drama, Mary Jane. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Deadpool be fucking bitches.
No doubt.
Wolverine be I don't know.
For sure.
Sniffing bitches.
Look, and even Professor X back in the day, I'm sure, man. You know.
Yeah, he'll use his mind to get that thing out. So, bro, you born and raised in Stockton?
I was born in San Francisco.
Okay.
Raised in Lodi.
Okay, Lodi.
And then got out pretty much right after high school. You know, just it was just a kind of a shitty place to be a young person.
Where?
Lodi.
And then where you at now? You're in Stockton? Or
I'm back in Lodi now.
Yeah, Lodi.
I moved back to Lodi in 2018 to look after some family.
Okay, for sure.
And I was in San Francisco again
you went back
before
to San
that.
Francisco? Okay.
Yeah, so...
What were you doing in San Francisco again? Just working, or...?
Yeah, man, I was, there was a time where it wasn't this, like, total... I mean, it was always a grind, but, before the tech companies came in, you could have your little artist groove, So for a while, I was living in, like, the old... You into skating? Like, the old Thrasher skate videos? There's, like, this crazy half pipe. Yeah, so my homie was, like, living in their old warehouse and, turning it into, like, places for people to live, and we started throwing shows there. And, like, well, kind of. I mean, it was No, I wasn't that crazy. But the shows were nuts.
Yeah. I'm not judging you.
No, I was like, what?
I'm like, bro, how old were you?
This was I was like 30, when that was happening. That was like kind of like go through cycle. I mean, I've been living the artist life for a long time, so it was like there were times where it was like,
bro, Los just talked about how he was in jail, bro. Just to let you know, it's like, I can see you in your head, like, what do I want to talk?
Well, it's like that could branch off into different things.
He was shaking down. I made like, dice out of fucking paint in jail. And I'm like, damn, nigga, this is crazy, nigga. Like,
nothing that wild, but we would throw these parties, and we could make money, and so there was a way to hustle in the Bay Area as an artist, and it's like that's not even possible now, so it was just like those were good times. I went to SF State, for creative writing. That was cool. But yeah, man, then it's just gotten all shut down by technology and money and developers. Like you can't make it in the city unless
it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's just crazy expensive, and like a lot of what was good about it is gone because people can't afford to live there. The original culture,
it's
like Mission.
I can't even get ends to meet.
Bro, like they got thrown out on the street.
Living this lifestyle, I can't. I can't even maintain it, even with the way I'm living and things I'm trying to do and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel you, especially but there's so many people because even if you tried to, it's like you have to create your own business just to get a job.
Yeah, seriously, it's like it's like there was a time where we could all collaborate on a space and throw shows and raise the rent. It's like now you can't even do that. If they catch wind of it's all uptight and you got landlords and up your asshole. It's crazy, man. They really killed, at least for San Francisco. I think the other parts of the Bay Area are maybe like resurging, but yeah, they really killed a lot of like. Well, it's not completely dead.
I work out in San Leandro, bro, and
I
just like I have some homies and just like. Some homies who fucking like live out there, and like anytime we just hang out and kick it out there, I just look at it and I just look at it like, damn, bro, for what you're I looked at houses, I was thinking about to live there, and I'm like, bro, it's just why? Like people that I work with are moving to Stockton and just like, hey, can you do this commute? They see me do this commute, they're like, and I'm like, bro, honestly, it's like, bro, the shit that you're paying for rent right there to get a condo, I'm like, bro, you gotta get a big ass house, bro, out here. And I'm like, why the fuck? Especially because these niggas got like 3-4 kids. Once you do that, it's like, what are you gonna live? Like, you better try to get your own welding company to get the money, nigga, because you ain't fucking but that's a grind too. This job.
Yeah, no, so. That's, the timing was good. It was like life was kind of like necessitated. I moved to Lodi. But at the same time, like, it was a great time to get out of the city. I would not have want to been there for the pandemic at all, that would have been, like, no good. Like, being out here, it's chill. A few times I went to visit or do stuff, it was like a ghost town. Like, everything's closed. People are super shook, And it's like, but they're still paying the rent. So it's like, the one thing that's worth paying the rent is getting to enjoy the city, and if that shut down, man, like
what's the point? That's
it's crazy. Like, so who knows what's gonna happen now? Like, if there's gonna be like rent drops or the whole world,
still gonna go up.
I mean, but a lot of the tech people are leaving because they're like, oh, we work from home now anyway. So it's just like I heard they're going to Tahoe now. That's crazy. So it's just like wherever that money goes, it just kind of brings problems.
Get them out in the woods, bro. I need them satellites, bro. I be going off road and I'm like, damn, nigga, we don't die without this phone.
Get your PS5 up on the mountaintop, Get 5G and
hell
shit.
Yeah, that'd be fucking lit, bro.
Right.
So let's talk about what about like music DJing and stuff like that and rapping, bro? I mean, I see you doing your like lives and shit. Like, how long? I mean, you said you've been performing and shit at those shows and shit, like the artist life and everything for a long ass time then.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I always loved words. Like my mom was big into reading, so I started reading at a young age. Started writing stories, poetry. Like it's always just been come to me really naturally, and like I was a little ham in class, I love being like the in the little theater production, so I just it was just a very natural path for me to be on stage talking to people, and I ran open mics in high school, and then so
you've been doing this.
So then like right around when I turned 18 and moved back to San Francisco, that's when like hip hop came into my life in a big way, like it was always around, but like in the Valley back then, this was pre-internet too. I'm an OG, so it was like, so it was like the stuff people were listening to. It was just what was on the radio. It was cool, but it's like I went to San Francisco and it was just like getting exposed to like Mos Def, Common, all this stuff. It was just like this huge, and and then I started freestyling it was just this natural evolution. My love of words and poetry and music just kind of like, I became an MC before I really intended to. It was natural. It was just natural. And then, from there, just starting building shows around the type of vibes I wanted to create, and
that's a hard hustle to keep a show going or just to run shows and everything.
It is, man.
How's your evolution in that? Like, anytime I hear about people who run like events and stuff, you know what I mean, it's a big thing. You know,
right.
It's almost like me trying to run a podcast, but even to a bigger extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. So I ended. So I lived in Milwaukee for a while.
Yeah.
Like in my 20s, and out there, you know, I was like a native Cali kid out there just trying to figure out what the scene was. Started going to open mics and meeting people, and it was just another thing too, or just like this natural progression where I had a certain style and flavor that wasn't out there, but people dug it. So me kind of running events, you know, just kind of happened. It's like, hey, we want you to do this or that, and creating a vibe that like I felt comfortable with and that other people were down for. So I never really meant to become a show promoter. It's just something that like snuck up on me, and like
got handed to you.
Right, and the types of shows that I wanted to do and people want to be a part of weren't happening necessarily. So it just like, I don't know. And then there is, as much as like out of everything I do, the show promotion is like my least favorite, like that type of work. But when the results are good, that's super rewarding. You know, when other artists are getting their groove on and we're making some money for other people, and like, you know, this food drive that we're doing next week, you know, it's like when it works, it feels really good. But it's a hustle for sure, man.
Right. 1 sec, you're doing great. I'm gonna go tell this motherfucker to turn his music down, because as far as my anxiety right now.
Okay, hey, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do for real.
Where was it? You hear it?
Sounds like it's coming. I do hear it.
It sounded louder over here.
It did, yeah. Almost. I mean, it's probably just echoing from over there, but.
It's gonna bother me
more like
anyway.
Feel it.
I couldn't
like,
even get in the conversation because I'm like, all I'm thinking about on editing and like.
Yeah, so you know more about how that's gonna sound on the final, so yeah.
I found out if you can hear it, they can hear it.
Makes
so like
sense.
if my dad's like watching TV or some shit.
Oh yeah.
So there was always like a funny thing if my dad's here or whatever, I'll be like, quiet on the set. Because he actually graduated in communication and radio broadcast, and fucking he always be like, nigga, I be knowing da 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 da, and I'm like, hey, yeah, but you like, I mean, I'm not saying you don't know, and you're into technology, you know, speakers and all this shit and everything. Same time, bro, you don't understand that the noises you be making be catching. He goes, no, because he has no idea,
right.
And I'd be like,
these
mics. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'd be saying. It's almost like weed. You know how strong this weed is.
Right.
The same thing as this. I know you think it's got some rinky-dink ass mic, but nigga, I paid some money for that mic. It's a beginner mic that was like, you know, at the time. Now it's been some time. Now there's better.
No, but they pick up everything for sure.
Yeah, they pick up even this. Look, that one doesn't as much. It'll be muffled or this will, bro. It'll be, you can hear fucking what's in that where we were at the glass, that living room area.
Oh wow.
The TV don't even got to be blaring. Like you know what I mean. As long as this mic's turned up, that shit will be heard.
Do you record some of your music
yeah,
here too?
My music is like I do rough drafts here, and then I'll try to go to like a homie's place, or I'll even send the vocals out to someone. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
What about you, about putting out music and things like that?
Well, yeah, man. I don't know. It's always it's one of those things. Like I write a lot and I create a lot.
Yeah.
But like, that whole side of like the business. I guess I've always kind of struggled with, just because like I have put a lot more attention on doing the live stuff. But I put out a few albums and haven't really got them up on digital yet, and so I'm still just trying to learn about how like the digital distribution works and everything. It's like I got a catalog ready to put up. It's just like
put that shit on DistroKid.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. When I create, it's definitely like I feel like it's coming from a source beyond me. I'm a vessel for it, and I do my best to channel that and put it out. And so like I don't think I trip as much as other artists about that kind of like it'll get to where it needs to be when it needs to get there.
You know
and like
who, Bobby Lee is?
I'm not sure.
Bobby Lee, he's a comedian. He used to be on Mad TV.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's a stand-up comedian for 30 years. Let's just throw it out there. 30 years. You're right. You know what I mean? 30 years. Very revered comedian, right? You know what I mean? Great comedian, they say. Some would say one of the funniest, abstract, crazy, whatever, right? Doesn't have a stand-up special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of make a little joke about the same thing, so that's what I'm saying with you.
Right.
So you be rapping, everybody's like, yo, this nigga be doing it.
Right.
You be like, you know what I mean? So what do y'all listen to?
Nah, that's fair, man.
I
was fair.
I was kind of feeling like, man, like what the fuck? Because I was like, man, like I only heard your like, you know, your raps online, you know,
right.
or not on Instagram and
right,
shit,
like
freestyles, and stuff. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, what's up? I would have to go to a show, but I don't think I've ever seen we've been at the same show.
I don't think so, or maybe not like where we're performing.
No,
yeah. No, I mean, I guess it's something that I like. Is always on my mind, like I need to get better about and get that distro kid just fired up, but like...
Just put one.
Yeah, just do...
You could do one, it takes 10 minutes.
I feel you, man. I feel... You know, when you put it like that, I got no excuse, you know? I just you know, gotta make it a 10-minute priority and get it done.
Good, bro, because the thing is the same thing with me, like anxiety-wise, I'm like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, it's like avoidance about weird things, like... You know, on some level, you know,
it's really just like, do I want to put it out?
Or it's like, is it good enough? Or is it like,
hey, who cares?
No, you're right.
But that's the thing is, I can't say that to people because so many other people, I care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel you though.
I get it. But at the same time, bro, like what I just hear from other artists, especially after you rap so many times, like, bro, like I don't even, especially like when I make a song, I'm just like, I'll do better the next song. Like, I'm not gonna put that much time on this song and what's it gonna mean and what's it gonna be. I get it. You want it to be, you know, you still want to go back and listen to it. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of songs where I'm just like, but I'm so glad on some of those songs I just said fuck it and moved on because I could still listen to some of those songs and be like, cool, like that was dope.
Right.
Now don't get me wrong, there's some projects I wish I would have fucking like took some songs off when I listened to them like, oh my god, this is pathetic. Well, but there's some shit on there, bro, where I'm like, yo, this is the dopest. It's still dope to this day.
That's the artist process. Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, and the thing is, there's one song that I think is horrible, and everyone thinks I'm not gonna say what song it is because I don't want to fucking be like, you guys are stupid. They're trying to like me,
dissing on your fan base.
Yeah, exactly. But fucking that's one of my most, you know, the people like that song, and I'm just like, okay. So also, I don't know what the fuck. I just gotta create.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Well, that's kind of goes back to what I'm saying. Is like I feel like that's my prime responsibility is to stay creative, and you know, not use that as an excuse to not do these other things. But like, I've never been one of those cats. Like when SoundCloud and all that stuff first came out, or even today, you know, it's like I've never been one of those cats that like spam people's emails or check out my stuff. Like I'm not saying this is necessarily a good thing, but it's just like I've always just kind of like stay in my zone and let things develop, come to light when they're ready to come to light, you know? Like I've been writing poetry for years, and finally with my two business partners with Family Power Music, we put out an anthology of poetry, you know? But I got like books, bro. It's like it's just on me to like do the work to get it done. So going through the process of publishing this,
I was about to say,
I was like, okay, I could do this on my own. You know, it's cool to like have my business partners but now that I know the process, it's like, all right, cool. And it's like, I got the material. Same with raps, you know, I got songs for days, you know, it's just like taking that time to put it out.
Get an album cover.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been working on an album with the cat Jermaine Hamilton out in Palo Alto. And we were going strong for a while. And then, you know, just like life happened. And it's like, you know, I can't get out there as much. And he was working on some other stuff. And then it's just like, that happens to me a lot where I'll be super dedicated to my artistry. And then like, doing shows, or you know, I had to get another day job. You know, COVID wasn't bouncing back from COVID. You know, that's quick. So you know, it's like unfortunately for me, that is the first thing to kind of go on the back burner. Is like that time to write, that time to be creative. You know, and like that's something I feel like I struggle with as an artist, and probably always will. That's you know part of my process. You know, is like. And that's why freestyling, though, is such a good release for me, because it's like, yeah, maybe it's not going to be recorded and maybe it's not going to be like millions of people hear it, but like it's creative as fuck and it makes me feel really good, and it like activates parts of my brain that, you know, that's cool.
Almost
so
like the video game shit.
Kind of, exactly. It's just like if I could just drive, put on a beat, freestyle, whatever, and then, you know, then that's a skill you have too. It's like when it's time to put it on, you know, then it's dope and it's ready to go.
I won this thing, Mixed Metaphors.
I heard about that. I never got to go.
I won the big one the second year they did it.
All right.
That was the last year they did it because I killed that shit.
There's like
nigga.
No coming back.
It's over, nigga. I killed that shit, nigga. That's why it didn't happen anymore, because I killed it.
Mixed Metaphors, R.I.P.
Yeah, over for y'all. Over for y'all. And this camera, it's over. But anyway,
no, that's what's up though, man. It's a great art form, you know, and it's like I heard a lot about that, and it sounded really cool because it wasn't just your typical battle, right? It was like
they threw things out there,
right. You had to have some chops. You had to be able to really like spit.
It made me realize like, oh, I can actually freestyle. I'm not the best though. I just was able to spread it out a certain way.
Yeah, but you got that quick wit anyway, so that's half of it. You know, it's just like what's going on.
It's hard to hone it though. That's the thing. Right. It's hard to fucking pick like, because the thing is, I get like my friends say like you're a bully. And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's just like, I guess when I get in the cipher sometimes, I figure out that like I get bored and in the cipher because people are trying to be like, oh, this and that. And I don't care whether you're trying to like do a flow thing or whether you're trying to do like some word thing or whether you're trying to just say some cool ass shit or whatever. I'm like, let's talk about each other, bro. Because now I know it's live. Because you know what I mean? You didn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like talk about like. That's what I'm just
talk about what's happening right now.
And that's when I'm like, but the best way, the easy way to do it is to talk about who's in the cipher and what they just said or what there's going on.
Right.
So it's just like, sometimes people like, it kind of fucks up the groove or vibe because people are like, you talking shit. I'm like, bro, it's a joke. I'm just trying to rhyme.
No,
I'm not talking about your mom or your fucking. But even if I did, you should be able to rebuttal.
right. No, that's true freestyle. See, that's something that's got a little muddled.
People just be trying to say their rap.
Right.
Like something like
no, true freestyle is like literally off top.
Like a battle rap type thing. Like, yeah, you better.
But even some of these battles now, they're letting cats like pre-write their shit and research.
I don't care about that. Yeah. I'm just saying, be ready with bars for, for everything.
Yeah. I mean? That's like the samurai code, you know? It's like, I relate a lot, like, being an MC to that is like, is my sword sharp? You know, like, I'm not a battle rapper, but if someone comes at me in a cipher, I will shut it down. You know what I mean? It's like...
And they're like, bro, I just wanted to talk about the vibe and the fucking... I'm like, nah, nigga, fuck that. Like, I'm talking shit. What are you gonna say to me, bro? We ain't gonna throw hands or nothing.
Right.
But, like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it won't even be an insult. I just might be like, I'm more cross-faded than your plaid shirt. You know what I mean? I'm hurt, whatever, like some bullshit. And then it's just like,
we're talking about me.
Yeah, me. Yeah, then it gets people like, because then you could see how it, you know, people are like, I don't know if I want to jump in now.
yeah, this cat's sharp. What's he gonna say about me? No, but that's the true art form of the freestyle for sure, man. Like, I mean, I've been doing this thing at shows. I didn't make it up, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but it's a cool freestyle trick, you know, better than just like, give me a word. It's like, you have people take stuff out of their pockets. You know, and you just kind of like rap about like, and usually it's like keys and phones, but then it's cool when people try to like be cute, and it's just like, oh, what is that? Tobacco, cigarettes, you know, whatever, you know, it's just like... So that's fun, and then people know you're really making it up on the spot, you know what I mean? Or like people that are like crazy ass car keys with a bunch of, you know, like a little troll doll, little
cigarettes. Oh shit! Open your zipper, I see your pussy silhouette.
There you go. And now she knows that you know you're really. And that's what's happening here and now.
After the show,
ready to go.
Pussy silhouette.
That's poetic, man. I like that.
Your bosoms are beautiful. So anyway, if you have a show where you can have 3 acts, dead or alive, performing for 50,000 people, you're a man who creates shows, what are the 3 acts you would do? You could be the performance also, and you could set people up and do it a certain way. But usually it's like 3 people, usually for like a 50,000, 3 hours, 5 hours.
Question.
You know what I mean?
That's a great question.
What would you have?
Well, I don't want to take a whole lot of time on the podcast to ponder, but off top, Fela Kuti.
Okay. Damn, nigga, that's already taking the show to a certain... like, Questlove... Yo, Questlove will be there. Off top, so you have... Hey, guys, I can't.
Okay, but that's because like, man, the Afrobeat music is like the origin of so many things. So it's just like you tell me this is one show for all of time, like you know.
I always like that question because it's like
that's a great question.
You're one of the first person who's like, "Fuck it, we get Fela Kuti in this motherfucker."
Fuck
you know
yeah, I mean?
man. I'm not saying everyone respects it and stuff like Erykah Badu and all them and shit, but it's just like funny because the vibe that changes the whole, it changes a lot of shit.
Right.
Like, if you seen that nigga, he be rocking stadiums, nigga. Fucking people be.
Man, that guy was he was impressive.
He has control of a stadium. But
music is the weapon. Black Star.
You like Black Star?
Oh man, some of them like when I was saying when I first really fell in love with hip hop, it was like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, they just put out like the Train of Thought album.
I literally thought Mos Def was the best rapper at one time.
I would agree with that. He's definitely
at one time he was in the world.
He is like a prolific wordsmith, and Kweli's not quite the same way, but he's really, he's got his thing too.
2-3 years, this nigga was the best rapper in the world to me, and you couldn't tell me otherwise.
I would not try to. I would wholeheartly agree with that. Like I was even bumping some of his stuff the other day, and it's just like his wordplay, his like intricacies, like, and then listening to it now, what, 10 plus, no, more than that, like 20 years, Black on Both Sides. Yeah, so yeah, and they would be a good fit with Fela. So and then
can I tell a story real quick about
I'm gonna think about my third.
All right, this will help you. So I went to Rock the Bells back in the day, and I went and so this is crazy like experience. I was, especially when I was younger, I was such a hip hop snob. Where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, cause pretty much like sometime when I was 16, I found out about all this like, like Big L and fucking, what I mean? I'm on this fucking hip.
I know shit.
Black
I read
Star,
the source.
Jurassic 5, you know what I mean? Hieroglyphics, motherfucking Far Side, bro. You don't even know, bro. Right. You don't even know. Nas? You don't even.
No, man. I went through that too.
Black Alicious,
Ooh, rest in peace, Gift of Gab.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, so I'm like on that type.
Yeah.
So, like, especially during that, right? So the thing is, like, so Wu-Tang. I'm about to see Wu-Tang. This is the craziest thing, right? Fucking Raekwon was drunk as fuck, and he said the worst thing you could say. He came out, "What up, LA?" And we were fucking in the Bay, and it was just like I was like, I never thought I would see a sea of people. Boom! Fuck you, Raekwon. I was just like, wow.
That's gotta be on YouTube somewhere, man. I gotta see that. That's insane, dude.
But the thing is, everyone could visibly tell, and like literally, Method Man had to come out, like he had to say something, even though like he didn't stop the show, but in between his song and shit, like, hey man, like he fucked up, but let's move on, like you know what I mean? Right. But it was like every time he started trying to rap, people were like, fuck this nigga, bro.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Because
you don't come back from that.
Because the thing is, it wasn't like it was 9 o'clock at night, bro. It was fucking like 4 in the afternoon, and it's just like you're already. Like, bro, you're like fucking, like, at least say it's fucking the Bay, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong, a week before they're in LA or whatever, but he was like, what up?
No excuse.
You can't say that.
Especially that. You can't be in the Bay and say LA. I just never thought,
because everyone was like, oh, it's Wu-Tang, it's Rock the Bell. So, everybody there, this is hit, like this
That was the best concert, bro. Like, that was the hottest ticket.
Same fucking thing, though, right? So, Mos Def comes on, right? And the thing is, where Mos Def fucked up, is because Nas and motherfucking Damian Marley are after him, right?
Oh.
So like so this is the end of the concert, right? Everybody's performing like 30 minutes, right? Mos Def performed for like an hour and 20 minutes or something. By the time he got to like 45 minutes, people were like booing him off stage, like, bro. Wow. It's getting late. Like, it was already supposed to, like, be Damian Marley, and he's still on stage. Like, he would do another song, because it was just starting to get dead. Like, after he goes, think about, I'm not trying to diss on Mos Def.
No, I feel you.
But, like, bro, like, after 30 minutes, like, you got a catalog for tremendous more, like, 30, 40 minutes.
Right.
We're done. We want to
hear, yeah.
Especially when it came out, fucking Erykah Badu came out on the stage at the end. But people were like, because like I remember like listening for like 20 minutes and like I gotta go to the bathroom, get a drink, and I came back. And this nigga was on stage. You gotta think about a festival.
Right, that's like a good 30 minutes just to like...
That's not... Like, I was just like, nigga, it's been 45... I watched it for 20 minutes, and it's been 40 minutes.
Right.
And now I'm like, I'm like, nigga, I'm like, what the fuck? It's getting dark as fuck. Everybody's like, hey, I never saw that. I never thought... all those hip-hop heads, people were like, yo, get the fuck off the stage, bro. Because even if you could hear it in the crowd and stuff, and people were like...
every time he starts a song, like...
oh, my God. We're like, oh... Right. And I guess, like I said, like, you're not the headliner. You're the fucking... So people were ready for Damian Marley. Like...
when they were doing that, too, that was hot. When that album...
Yeah, bro, I'm saying this was like 2000...
that was like...
Like, this was like 2010,
that was the hottest shit around.
2010, bro, or some shit.
No, when that dropped, that was... everyone was on that.
Yeah, like, this is the shit. This just came out, bro.
And we're happy to see you, Mos Def.
Yeah, bro, when he came out, people gave Mos Def so much love. It was just literally like, bro, I'm just talking to people outside while we're waiting in line, and like we're talking about like, is he still on?
Wow.
Like that's why it was just like we were like, he's not getting the hit because people were walking away. Like the crowd was like like you know how like
well, who's running the show too, being like, yo, Most, come on.
Like, you know how like it happens, like if like someone starts performing, they can hear it outside. People will say fuck this line and go and watch the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did for Mos Def. Literally, the longer you got, you start seeing people like spread out. Because I heard all my songs. I heard Bootyless. I heard like you know what I mean. Brown all those like
Miss Fat Booty.
Yeah, Miss Fat Booty. All that shit. Like you know, and you're like, okay, that's all the songs I want. Okay, so I don't know what else he's gonna play.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? But yeah, sorry I had to go on that tangent.
No, man. Like,
I bring that up as a hip hop head too, because I just didn't think about all these hip hop head people. Like, you know, they're almost like God, especially when I was younger.
Oh, man.
So it's just like to see all those people boo, and I'm like, you can't. Certain mistakes you can make mistakes. Certain mistakes you can't make.
Yeah.
You know, so Mos Def, that was a mistake you can make. He probably was feeling it. He's like, it's hip hop. I would have. Raekwon, that was inexcusable. Because I'm like, bro, you don't understand. We're the Bay. Like we want. When you're here, you should feel the difference.
Right. We're all about the difference.
I know you.
We lean into the difference.
From Staten Island, you know Queensbridge, but if you know those boroughs of a fucking little fucking thing, well, you should know the 6-hour difference from the drive of fucking.
Right. Nah, it ain't even the same. No hate to LA, but it ain't the same, man. You can't come in the. You couldn't get away with it reversely either. If you were in LA and you're like, "What up, Bay?" Like, you probably
get the fuck out of here, bro.
Nah.
You getting hyphy nigga in the LA? Maybe.
All right, and then this may sound kind of cliche. I'm gonna go with Bob Marley for my third.
Bob Marley.
Just because that covers like just a range of like.
Everybody will go.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have some hip hop, some reggae. I mean. Man, Miles Davis would be dope too, but you know, then it's like
Miles Davis.
But then
what's your favorite Miles Davis song?
So What?
What is that?
I'm Kinda Blue, the first song, the way that album starts.
You know what's crazy about that? Another story. My grandfather, who just passed last year too, as well. That was the one song he played for me when I was a kid, and that was the song that especially on like the blues and jazz radio and shit, they play that song every day at least one time, you know what I mean? And so like every time I listen to that shit, I'm just like, that's all I think about is him. It's just like, so what? He's like, I want you to, cause like,
and then when the drums kick in, and that's dude,
bro, and like people don't know. I'm like, it's so simple, but like if you put yourself back, I could even tell when I was at, you know, even though that age gap of me and him and shit, you know what I mean? It was just so funny to me because I could already understand like being my age and not know, like, and that was the first thing I heard before all these other people, Prince, all these other things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is, you know what I mean? I already understood at a young age. I'm like, oh, this like all the shit I'm listening. He started some of the shit I'm listening to now. You know what I mean?
Dude, if Miles Davis was alive today, he'd be doing hip hop. Like he would be evolving with the times. Like he is like, man, one of the most prolific. I mean, Bitches Brew's a great album too. Like just the tapestry of sounds and all the different, like, you know, I mean, probably still do get high as fuck and just listen to that, you know, just like the imagery that it comes to mind from that. But my grandpa too, I have a connection with jazz, and he was he tried to, you know, get me into it when I was a little younger, and I kind of discovered it on my own, but then came back around, you know, towards the end of his life, and we were like getting down on jazz. I actually got all his old records when he passed.
That's the one thing he would my grandpa memorize. My grandpa, like, because he had Alzheimer's, and so that was the one thing that actually, if I played this shit, he would know. He could tell the difference in the jazz song. Like, I know if that's Miles Davis, or he knows if it's Coltrane. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Coltrane, Miles Davis. That's the only reason I know that is because my grandpa. Because my dad's like, yeah, they cool, nigga, but I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Right. And I'd be like, nigga, what? But I'm like, way more.
Jazz is jazz is in the, like you were saying, you know, it's like so much of what we're into now. Like jazz is like in the DNA, you know, like so. I mean, I understand how it's not for everyone, but I'm thankful that I learned to appreciate it.
I just felt like jazz and blues is like they took from gospel and made a twang to it to make it more like, ooh, funky and soulful. Like, don't get me wrong, the gospel means tons of soul. For sure. The saying is just like in a way where it's like, ooh, it's got some funk on it. Yeah. And then people were taking that and they made rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because they were like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Because they were like, all those people who like rock all came from blues because they're like, oh, I could do this, and then they. Right. What I mean?
No, it's crazy, man, and then it's crazy to think about how like I don't even know if I should say this on the podcast, but I was DJing at a certain establishment recently in the Lodi area, and you know I do a lot of shows and stuff in Stockton, and that's like, you know, the people I'm building with, like Energy and Hatch Workshop, you know, like my work's in Stockton, but you know, a gig's a gig, so you know I'm playing, and it's just like. Just to see like people's reactions, you know, I'm playing what I feel is like is a good compromise, you know, like some Stevie Wonder, some Kool in the Gang, because, you know, like drunk white people can dance to that, you know, but it's just so crazy.
Turn that nigger shit off.
Bro,
you got any Garth Brooks?
So what I'm saying is...
That's what you were trying to say.
The shit that they are requesting, they don't understand the roots of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you hating on like this groove I'm trying to lay down. You want Beach Boys, you want this other shit, but it's like it's all like black music. American music is like, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, man, it's tough as a DJ
but
sometimes.
But it needs to come from a white voice. Yeah. All right, God damn it.
It's like
it's able to relate to me.
Seriously, like I play one song that they don't know, and they start clearing out, or like
Earth, Wind, and Fire would help.
What's it?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's what I'm saying. I try to find that vibe.
Earth, Wind,
exactly, and like
that's the one black. I love. Everybody loves.
No, I've definitely found my groove with
Fleetwood Mac Eagles concert. Earth, Wind, and Fire opened up. Besides those two groups I named before, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Fleetwood Mac and the Eagles. That was the only other band. There's Doobie Brothers. There was fucking Journey. There was a lot of other groups.
You've been to some epic shows.
It was just one show. There's two night back to back at Dodger Stadium. But fucking with that fucking that was all those other groups before they had. Earth, Wind, and Fire was the only whole stadium. We getting the fuck up for September, nigga.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
I was like, that changed my life. Because I was just like, so at least I could get, from my calculations, and okay, you play, everybody knows September.
Right. That's the medium. And then from there.
You play September anyway. I don't give a fuck if you, and I don't care. That just, because there was so many, it didn't matter. I'm like, bro, it's September, everybody knows September.
No, and so that when I'm DJing for certain crowds, that's kind of what I do. I find like the median of what I want to do and what they're gonna be cool with. Sometimes I push it. Like I threw down some Outkast. I was like, hey.
Nigga said, push that button.
Yeah, of course. I was kind of because people.
Did you play Hey?
No, I just did Rosa Parks. Bro. I love Rosa. That's like one of my favorite Outkast songs. And like when that harmonica.
So I was right when I sung it.
Yeah, you were.
So
hey, the harmonica gets wins him over. That little gets him every time. But so I just say that to say it's very interesting to me how like people have certain prejudices against music but don't understand the music they like, where it actually comes from, and as a DJ, which I've only really been DJing for like 3 years or so compared to like how long I've been rapping, but like it's forced me to dive deeper into music I love and learn even more about it. And so I have moments where I just want to like stop and like educate some of these people, but it's like I'm getting paid to rock the crowd. So it's like
okay. I'm glad you kind of went to it because I was thinking about asking this question, but I was like, no, what? Now that you said that, this is the thing. Now here's my argument to it. We're not a real argument, but just so we have a discussion. And we'll wrap it up. I got a hard out in like 15 minutes.
Say it.
I think it's like an ignorance is bliss thing. Because I'm like, you know what I mean? Okay, for one thing of my thesis is one thing I realized, I thought everybody like loved music.
Right.
Not everybody loves me. When I got to college, I'm about to find out like, people will just listen, like they're comfortable with just listening what's on the radio.
Right.
It's just, to them, it's just music. And I'm like, I thought everybody had their own music.
Had something that...
I got you. I understood that. So I thought everybody was crazy about particular music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or their sound. Because I was like that. I'm like, okay, yeah. As I grew older, I like a lot of other things. But as far as that, I was just like, oh, shit. So like when I realized that was one. That stood out to me. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Everybody's not a fucking music nut, right?
Right.
Secondly, people who like music don't want to know about what it took. They don't want to know the meat inside the hot dog.
Okay.
Because it ruins the hot dog.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So like when I tell people little facts about songs, they're like, "Oh, who wrote that?" And they're like, that ruins the song. Like it's not as I thought they did that. And I'm like, no, it was like there was $1 million budget. Did you know $1 million went into Shine Bright Like a Diamond? Oh well, that was just to make it. They put another $3 million into promoting it.
Wow.
But don't worry, they got their money.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man.
Just sitting there like. What? Yeah. Like a kid who just found out they could die. Like,
right, or like Santa ain't real or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yeah, it ruins the hot dog. So I just think of that about that in that aspect.
I could see that. I'm with you though, man. Like I want to know. I want to know things. I want to know the processes.
Oh, me too. I want to know everything.
It's like music is the way, is my way into the world. You know, I was like raised as an only child in a small town, you know, but I always had like that, you know, extrovert, you know, desire to be among people, you know, and so like music was just the way. Like I learned about it and reading the processes of people I admire, even their flaws, you know, like Miles Davis, great musician, not a perfect human, you know what I mean? So
most of your heroes are
right. So it's just like, but I was like, I do want to know those things.
It's also a different time. Probably everybody was beating their wife back in 1930.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know. Right.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. But it's like, you know.
I'm not going to excuse it, but I'm just saying.
No, but that's an interesting point you make.
If everybody's got a black eye, maybe we don't notice that everybody's got a black eye. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Right. No, I mean, well, there was different things going on back then. There were different social pressures. Not that, you know, domestic abuse is cool, but it's like, that was, like you said, we don't know what it was, you know, going on in the world in that time. But it's just like, it's interesting because it's like, the world we're in now, right? Like it's just like everything's super hyper triggering, and people are like hypersensitive, and you know, we're just coping with that as artists. I think you had a third part to your thesis about why people just don't like what they don't only.
One thing they don't like.
Ignorant is bliss. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. That was the three things.
Yeah,
it was just like it was like one, they don't like music that much. Two,
they don't want to know.
They don't want to know. It's ignorance is bliss. Oh yeah, that would kind of just tied in on that third thing. Like it ruins the hot dog. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that was like after like I got to know, but what did it help? All it did was just like I thought it was such more of like a. They think it was so organic a lot of the times, and I'm like some songs are completely organic and just happen. But even if they are, you don't understand. There's like a 10-year thing where this person, you know, what I mean? Like people don't understand. Like you know this song, like even Fetty Wap, right? Like this song, like you know he took a whole year until this got on regular radio to promote it. Like you get what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? So you got to understand this song's 3 years old by the time it's like finally get its record. And I'm like, so like you get what I'm saying? It's things like that. People like they're like, oh, I thought this was just like a ba 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 ba, and I'm like, there's so much more a lot of the times that goes into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't know that fucking Jay-Z's been buying his records the first day they come out? Like you didn't know that? Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no, that's good shit, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like shit like that, and it just ruins it.
Yeah.
You know?
So then just to tie that back in, you know, so when you know as a DJ you're in certain environments, you know, they almost want you to be a jukebox. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm getting paid to be more than you know, like just play what you want to hear.
It's a show.
Right. I'm an artist. You know, it's like someone wants Beach Boys Kokomo. How am I gonna mix that into September? You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm just saying.
I don't know how great it would be.
The vibe I'm trying to bring is you know that middle September vibe. You know, keep butts moving, keep people drinking. Yeah. And that's my job when I'm hired to do that. Yeah. So that for me as a music lover is a fine line to walk sometimes. Sometimes I just want to, or like, you know, people be like, oh, can you play like some more old people music? I'm like, Kool and the Gang. You mean white music? You know, like just say what you really mean. You know, like the Beach Boys is, but it's like, you know, Kool and the Gang, Stevie Wonder. That shit's
the Beach Boys helped the Manson family. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Hey. I you know, you've been spitting facts this whole time, so it's like I'm already like wired to believe
Jones?
you. Yeah.
You know,
now I gotta go fact check this whole interview.
Look, they make gay frogs.
And birds aren't real.
So in the future, J-Scribe, what do we have to look from you, bro? We got this show.
Yeah, July 10th. Yeah, let's plug the show real quick.
How about I get this out?
I'm looking forward to having you on that show. We do that every second Saturdays at Hatch, different lineup, and we collect food for people in need in the area. I'm excited about that. For me personally, I got to get this album done that I've been working on for like a year, and you know, and then we'll see, man. I'm thankful that I'm in a position to give people places to create and come together. You know, I just like. That's a blessing, you know, and I'm really excited to have you in Dialect on, you know, because we never worked together before, and I love that, you know, giving people opportunities, exposure. Yeah,
he's gonna do great. Yeah. I don't know about me.
Well, but you're gonna promote the shit out of it, you know. You're gonna bring that vibe, so it's like, do you do much live performing?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
There's this one song that, that's actually what I feel like I'm best at is like the live performance of everything. Yeah. But there's a song that we're doing that he's like, hey, let's do this song. And I'm like, wish you would have told me that last week, bro. I gotta fucking remember this song. I've been trying to avoid performing this song because it's the hardest song as far as perform.
Now you got me excited. July 10th, you gonna see that? Come on out. Hatch Workshop. You got it, bro.
Oh, no, but we were practicing it yesterday. I'm like, bro, this is going horrible. I don't remember this shit. It's so hard to remember it because it's a back and forth song.
Oh, but see, that's dynamic. That's dope.
Yeah,
that's
a back and forth song. Wow. So, yeah.
Better get that together.
I got to memorize his words, too, is the problem, is what I'm saying. Stop just not
Gotcha.
And then there's a couple parts where I'm like, whatever. It doesn't matter. But anyway, keep checking J-Scribe out. His shows, DJing, spreading the love.
Yeah.
Also, thank you again, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. This is a lot of fun.
It.
Yeah.
This is gonna keep. I'm gonna get this. You're helping me kickstart this shit again and going hard.
Yeah, no reason not to, man.
Anything else you want to say before we leave?
Just check out familypowermusic.com. Find me on Instagram, letter J, Scribe.
I'll put it up there.
Oh, well then, enough said.
Bow!